Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to my channel, Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're doing general energy readings for Aries, and this will be for January 4th, 5th, and 6th. As always, this is a general reading, may or may not resonate with you. Hope it does, but if it doesn't, take what you like, leave the rest. Also, too, I am using my Doreen Virtue Angel Tarot cards. I have prayed, meditated, and infused with Reiki energy. Also, too, this weekend, and it's the 5th, will be a new moon, and it'll be a partial eclipse with the new moon, and the new moon is going to be in Capricorn. And that will be pretty grounding. That will have some grounding effects. But what I've also talked about with the moons and such, I do believe very strongly with moon energy. I have since I was a small child. I would love to go out and look at the moon and feel whatever the energy it is that it was imparting. From the full moon to the new moon is your time, your period of release. So this is where you give up things. This is where you give up your negative energy. This is where you give up the spirit of poverty, the fear. This is where you give that up. And from the new moon to the full moon is when you request things. And this is when you can request abundance. This is when you can request that your bills get paid. Things like that. There are ways to do this. You can go ahead and write it down, burn it, let it be released. You can go ahead, write it down, burn it, because it's fire energy is adding to that. If you do request things and you burn your list, make another list and put some dates on it, because then they become goals, and put them on the refrigerator and look at it every day. I mean, it really, really does work. I'm very much into positive energy and to putting that energy out. So now, Aries. I've been shuffling the card for a little bit. Nothing's been really jumping. So let's see what we have here. 3 cards out. They are all right side up. They're all, they're not reversed. Let's put it that way. They're not reversed. So let's see what this first card says. Queen of Earth. So Earth, this has been coming up a lot for this weekend for a lot of other signs too. Queen of Earth, Earth is your Virgo, Taurus, and your Capricorn energy. And we are having this, this new moon, I believe it is in Capricorn. So, and that's going to be very grounding. Now, Earth is something that, is what you can see, what you can feel. It's money, it's a house, it's the actual brick and mortar. It's, it's the people you can actually touch. But remember, fire can scorch the earth. So I'm not quite sure why I'm bringing that up for you, except fire can scorch the earth. And I think in our last reading, we were talking about, it was just kind of, there was a lot of erratic fire. So while you're trying to get more into a grounded, place, you're trying to center yourself, realize that you still have some of that leftover it's kind of this just fire that's, this maybe not quite, it's controlled, but it's still not, it could still burst, okay? So, it's like, it's a controlled fire, but even a controlled fire can get out of hand. So just be aware of that. So again, Queen of Earth is thoughtful, creative, warm, sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. I think that this weekend could be, again, we've had a lot of family. If you celebrate the holidays, you've had a lot of family around you. Family is still going to be kind of there, or friends, if that's, or just even if you're working this weekend, there's going to be people around you. And, you can be very, you can be very cool, not cool, you can be very laid back, but just be aware that that fire of Aries could want to, pop up, okay? Let's see what this next card is. The Awakening, Archangel Gabriel. So you have some Archangel Major Arcana energy here. Look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So while I'm talking about your energy and, and that fire, while it's under control, could get out of control, it still is important to be yourself. So I'm not saying that if somebody is trying to push you or trying to remake you or putting you in a situation that is just not true to who you are, then you let that fire out. Let that awakening out. Because many times, we do try to, I'm not asking you to hide things at all. You have to be who you are because that's who you are, okay? Let's see what this last card is. 8 of water. So you have your earth, which, scorching, the fire scorches, but then you have your 8 of water, and water, your Cancer, your Pisces, your Scorpio energy. A desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. I'm not saying that you've definitely done this, but I am feeling that there's going to be Aries out there that feel that they've outgrown things. So, maybe it's you've outgrown your house. Maybe you've outgrown, I hate to say this, your family. Maybe you've outgrown your job. Maybe you've outgrown your commitments. Maybe you've just outgrown them. I'm not saying that you haven't met your commitments, but you've just now, I've met them, I need something else now. But I'm feeling like you might have outgrown things. Or at least this weekend, you're going to feel that you've outgrown them. And, maybe people have been off for a couple of weeks, have had vacation, and now it's like, oh, I've got to go back to work. I've got to go back to school. I've got to go back to something. And it's like, I just don't want to do that. Well, that's very, very, that's reasonable. A lot of people feel that way. But, if you need the money, you need to go back to work. If you are in the midst of going to school, you need to finish your school. So there's some things you have to have realistic expectations with it. But if you're somebody that said, I've been in this job for 20 years, I haven't had an increase in vacation, I haven't had an increase in responsibilities, I am doing the same job, and I'm not saying that you've actually been there for 20 years, but it might seem that way, then you might you might go on the internet and start throwing your resumes out. I'm not seeing that you are, that there's a great need to do this. It's not like, I don't know why I'm going down this path, but it's not like you've lost your job, but it's more a case of, I'm done. So while your weekend could be very, very nice, it could also be, I'm done. I'm just done with it all. Okay? I think you're going to have, it's like an awakening. Yeah, it's all it says, awakening. You're going to be, I'm done with it all. If you do not know your rising, ascending, moon, or Venus, under the community tab, I posted a little thank you note, and then all the way down is a website, and if you have your birth date, your birth time, and the place of birth, you can put all that in. You don't need to put in like an email, and it will give you that information. I do recommend that you watch January 1st through the 16th, and also that you take a look at the other contributing factors, the other signs that contribute to you, because it really does make a difference. And I've had people come back to me to say, I didn't really realize it, but yes, it does. I didn't realize that it did, okay? Until I realized, oh, I've got my Venus is in Gemini. Okay, never mind, I won't go there with you. But Aries, you know that I love you, you are loved, and be blessed. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.